Nestle has fired its CEO. He'd worked in the company for nearly 40 years. And why was he fired? Well, he didn't disclose a romantic relationship with somebody in his department. Laurent Freixe, I think that's how you pronounce it. I haven't got the faintest. I just thought I'd just blag that one. How do you pronounce it? Freixe?
Amazing.
Freixe? I don't know how you pronounce it, but it's something like that. Laurent Freixe has been let go. Nobody in my ear tells me how to pronounce it. You notice that it's total silence when I'm desperate for help. But anyway, he's been let go with immediate effect and without a severance package after somebody called the Swiss company's whistleblower hotline to report a relationship between him and what they described as a direct subordinate, which means somebody working just for him. I was going to say under him, but then it suddenly sounded really sexy and a bit too sexy for all of us at this hour of the day. Anyway, he's 63. He's not married. So is it really so terrible that he met somebody at work? Have you ever had an office relationship? And would you recommend it? Do get on the phones and tell me all about it. I'm going to start with Calum, obviously, on this one.
Why?
Why not?
Why? Hold on. I was going to say, what's the rules in politics about this?
You've got more relationships in the bag than most. That's probably why. What do you think?
What a show I came on. I absolutely love it. No, I think that's slightly unfair, if I'm honest with you.
Sorry.
You know, I don't think. No, not what you said.
Oh, you think unfair to him? I'm not trying to be unfair to you. I love
You're
having
always
you on
fair
the show.
to me.
Thank you.
I think that's slightly unfair. I think if they're both into it and they're both enjoying it, why not? You know, I don't see if no one's hurting anyone on purpose, or if there's nothing illegal happening, why should they not be able to date? I think we all know from experience and every story we've ever heard about this, it never ends well. But I don't think, why not allow them?
Well, let's bring Paula in on the sort of legal side of
like
life.
that.
Not the human side, but the legal side. No, don't be a human being, be a lawyer. So, you know, she's his subordinate.
Yes.
So that means he's her boss.
Yes.
So then you've got a lot going on there,
Yes.
haven't you? Because I think it's been hinted in various different media outlets that he may have promoted her.
Exactly.
And then other people in the department are
Yes.
thinking, you know, she's his, you know, she's his solace and comfort.
Yes.
He gives him a great deal of succour.
Yes.
And therefore he's now promoted her and he hasn't promoted me. It's not
Yes.
fair.
Yes.
And, you know, and that's one of the reasons people don't like to encourage relationships in the office, isn't it?
Absolutely. And in this particular scenario, we understand from the reports that there is a clause in the contract that says if you are going to engage in co-worker relationships, tell us. Let us know about it. Be open and honest so that we can assess how to best manage the situation.
At what stage of the relationship?
This is
The
where...
first snog.
I know.
Hand on knee. One hand on one knee, that's it.
This is where it becomes complicated, doesn't it? And we're dealing with human beings, right? And we're dealing with love and we're dealing with lust. So
you don't normally say that word.
I don't, but yes. And so this is where it becomes complicated. But within the workplace, there should be parameters, right? There should be a rigid structure, a rigid framework in place where you understand what is appropriate and what is inappropriate. Yeah. And I understand that Nestle attempted to investigate this, explored what the relationship was, and they both denied it.
Oh.
And so this is where we get to a situation where we're saying, well, hang on a minute, this is a misconduct issue because we're trying to be open and honest about this, and you have allegedly misled us.
And William, what do you think?
I think it's very difficult dating these days when you're out there in the wilderness, and it's very confusing. Thank God I've never had to use apps and so on, and very happily married. I think that to build a relationship, which is a very complex thing, sometimes the person that you know in the office is the person you get to know.
True.
So it's the wonderful way of them revealing themselves to you in a very natural way. You see them stressed, you see them unwind, you see them presenting themselves, you see them every day. And that way you can work out, maybe this person is my life partner. And I think it's very unfortunate then when, a couple gets together in the office and it all ends in tears. I don't have sympathy for Nestle because this guy worked there for 43 years. He would have had a handle in writing this rather strict policy, and rather amusing that, the French get, famous for their mistresses. This guy goes down like this. I think he's French, isn't he? With that name. With that name.
I don't know.
So, he would have known what he was doing, and it's unfortunate. But the other thing is, romance, I think you're allowed to lie in romance. You can deny you can deny love, you can deny that you're in love with someone until the point where you want people to know about it. I think it's completely legitimate to not have to betray your feelings.
You're my boss, though,
but
William, surely.
Yes, unless it's in the constitution of your company, in which case, you need to
But
behave.
you know what you're signing up to if you're
Yeah,
signing up to
totally,
it. But
exactly.
how common is it to have that as part of the company constitution?
It's a bit strict, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's a
I
bit
mean,
strict.
it's definitely becoming more and more common as we get through the Christmas parties. And
Why? It's so harsh.
Because, well, is it? Because remember, this is born out of the vulnerability of a lot of women in the workplace, and feeling and being proven in many occasions that they're not getting the promotions that they would ordinarily deserve, feeling that they're being sidestepped constantly. Or whilst they're sitting there watching perhaps a colleague who's having a relationship with somebody else in the workplace, and they are getting the benefits out of that relationship. So there's lots of reasons why, as an employer, you do need to take responsibility for all of your staff, including those who may be vulnerable.
But what a workplace where there's a hotline where you can
repeat it.
phone
Whistleblower
in
hotline.
and say,
is
you know, I mean,
Yeah.
what a place to work. And there we were thinking they were just a nice company that makes
I just thought it was a
milkshakes.
Milky Bar Kid. I
Exactly
thought the
that.
Milky Bar Kid just went in
Waters.
every day.
They have
to
wonderful
that.
water now.
Absolutely.
San Pellegrino.
Let's bring in Dave in Lincolnshire. Hello, Dave. What do you think about this? You know, relationships at work.
Well, mine did work, actually, Vanessa. Hi, I just want to say fantastic show. And I was on a while ago about stepchildren, if you can remember.
Yes, I can. You were excellent. How nice to have you back on.
Thank you
Brilliant.
very much. Thank you, my love. Thank you. I just want to say, me and my wife, we were best friends at work. We knew each other for 3 years. She was going through a really bad relationship. Her partner physically and mentally abused her for 10 years. My ex and I, we didn't get on. That's another story. But anyway, we got together.
Yeah.
18 years later, we are still together. Next month will be our 15th year anniversary.
Fabulous. Happy
We
anniversary.
are the happiest. We are. Thank you very much. And I just want to say to Georgie, his pops was the best footballer in the world.
Oh, thank you.
That's nice to
Dave,
see.
question for you.
Best football.
You met your missus at work, right? Is that right?
Yes.
Yes, mate. That's
If you
correct. I
knew
did.
there was something in the contract of work that said you couldn't, would you still have?
Damn right, I would have
Good
done.
man.
Beautiful.
Good man.
I mean, I wonder whether it's very different if you're at the same level. You know, if your job is the same as the other person's, or it's the same kind of pay grade, then it doesn't matter because you can't do #MeToo, you can't manipulate them, you can't promote them. You're on the same level. Maybe it's all about bosses and then people who are earning less money, and you can you've got their career in the palm of your hand, and that isn't fair.
Yeah,
is it?
but not only that, Vanessa. Let's just look at love in general. Love is messy. Oh my goodness, it's so messy. And you're going to come in and you're going to have this torrid relationship with another co-worker, and then it all starts to go a little bit sour. And it's your co-workers who have to pick up the pieces. You know?
You're absolutely right, and that can be with somebody who's at exactly the same pay level as you. You're quite right. It's messy. We don't want messy stuff at work, do we? That's where we go to escape.
But as
work.
you say, life is messy. So what are you going to do? Stop it from
You
being
sound like
messy?
Angela Rayner. Isn't that exactly what she said?
Yeah, but she's
You're
a-
going to
but
be
she's
saying
a-
the same thing as Angela Rayner about 5 minutes later. Let's bring in Jean in Bristol. Oh, Jean, you had an
Fine.
office romance. Tell us about it, Jean.
Hi, yes, I had office romance 1 year ago.
Didn't hear that. Can you say that again, Jean? We couldn't quite hear you. What did you say?
Yes, sorry. Yes, I had office romance 31 years ago.
Yes.
Wow.
31.
And were you in the same department? Was it the same kind of level, or was he your boss, or how did it go? Or were you his boss?
He was my boss.
He was. Did she say he was my boss?
I think so.
Thanks.
I think we haven't got very good audio there. We can't really hear you, Jean. But he was her boss, I think. We
Yes,
think.
yes.
Gosh.
But
Sounds
how
like a
different-
Doris Day movie, doesn't it?
Yes, and how different things were 30 odd years ago. Sadly, we need that protection. We need that hotline now in many offices around the world. We need that whistleblowing.
So says the lawyer, but I can ignore your advice.
You're going to ignore my advice.
Yeah, you send me the
And
invoice.
now's probably a good time for us to tell our partners that William and I are in a relationship. Is that a good time?
Having
William
any
on air, live on
No,
air?
hanky on this.
Oh yeah, or was it me and Callum?
I signed a contract before I came.